Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I am Akshay Dongre, coming up in the next 30 minutes. US President Trump says US not likely to accept new 14-point peace proposal put forth by Iran calling for end to multi-pronged conflict. Germany says US troop withdrawal foreseeable as NATO seeks clarification. Cuba rejects new US sanctions. Cuban President Diaz-Canel denounces dangerous escalation. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in Jamaica on the first leg of his three-nation tour that includes Suriname and Trinidad Tobago looks forward to engaging with Jamaican leadership, business community and Indian diaspora. Election Commission of India makes final preparation for counting of votes for just concluded assembly polls in the states of Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and the Union Territory of Puducherry. US President Donald Trump on Saturday said he's reviewing a newly submitted proposal from Iran, though he expresses significant doubt regarding its acceptability. In a post on social media, Trump said, and I quote him, "I will soon be reviewing the plan that Iran has just sent to us, but can't imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years. The post came shortly after Trump spoke to reporters while boarding Air Force One in Florida, where he was asked whether he had seen the 14-point plan. Iranian media said Tehran's 14-point proposal includes the withdrawal of US forces from areas surrounding Iran, lifting the blockade, releasing Iran's frozen assets, payment of compensation, lifting sanctions and ending the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, as well as a new control mechanism for the strait. The United States and Israel suspended their bombing campaign against Iran for 4 weeks ago, but appeared no closer to a deal to end a war that has caused the biggest disruption ever to global energy supplies. In a brief interview with reporters in Florida, President Trump said there is a possibility the United States could restart strikes on Iran.
If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But, you know, it's a possibility that could happen, certainly.
Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai strongly condemned US President Donald Trump's act like pirates remarks and accused Washington of normalizing piracy at sea with the seizure of Iranian vessels. In a post on social media, Baghai said that the US President has openly described the unlawful seizure of Iranian vessels as piracy, brazenly boasting that we act like pirates, adding that this was no verbal slip but a direct and damning admission of the criminal nature of their actions against international maritime navigation. He further called on the international community, United Nations member states and the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to firmly reject any normalization of such blatant violation of international law. Donald Trump on Saturday said that the United States plans to reduce its military presence in Germany by a significant more than 5,000 troops previously announced by the Pentagon.
We're going to cut way down, and we're cutting a lot further than 5,000.
Trump's remarks came as the administration is preparing to withdraw around 5,000 American troops from Germany in a move that signals growing tensions between Washington and key European allies over support for US military operations involving Iran. Germany's Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has said that the US decision to withdraw 5,000 troops from his country was foreseeable, as the NATO military alliance says that it is seeking a clarification from Washington. Speaking to the DPA news agency, Boris also stressed that the presence of American soldiers in Europe and particularly in Germany, is in our interest and in the interest of the US. Meanwhile, NATO spokesperson Alison Hart said the alliance was working with the US to understand the details of their decision. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel denounced newly expanded US sanctions during a solidarity event in Havana on Saturday, after US President Donald Trump signed an executive order widening restrictions on Cuba. Diaz-Canel rejected claims that Cuba poses a threat to the United States, calling it a peaceful nation. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez Parilla said Havana would not negotiate on sovereignty and would uphold its socialist system. According to the White House order, the new sanctions targeted individuals and entities tied to security forces or corruption and allows secondary sanctions, which Cuban government has said amount to collective punishment and worsen shortages and disruptions.
When they say we are an extraordinary and unusual threat to the United States, and we are sure that is not how the American people feel, but rather how the US government feels, or the pretext that the government uses to attack us. One has to ask, what is the threat? What is extraordinary about that threat? What is unusual about that threat? When Cuba is a country of peace.
Attorneys for the man accused of attempting to assassinate President Donald Trump at White House Correspondents' Dinner last night asked a judge to remove him from suicide precautions while in jail in Washington. Easing suicide precautions would allow Allen to call, visit and limit time outside his cell under supervision. Cole Thomas Allen allegedly stormed a security checkpoint and fired a shotgun outside the White House event on April 25th. When he was initially booked into the jail facility on April 27, Allen was assigned a safe cell described as a padded room with 24-hour lockdown procedures. Allen is charged with attempted assassination, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and illegally transporting guns and ammunition across the state lines. He has not yet entered a plea. Frustrated passengers were left stranded after bankrupt Spirit Airlines abruptly shut down operations on Saturday, forcing travelers to scramble for alternative ways to reach their destinations. The collapse overnight of the carrier following a doubling in jet fuel prices during the West Asia conflict despite an uneasy ceasefire. While Spirit was already struggling to turn a profit before the fuel shock, global carriers are contending with surging jet fuel prices. At the Orlando International Airport, a digital departure display sign was filled with bright red notifications of cancelled Spirit flights and had destinations everywhere from Nashville to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Airline Egypt Air has cancelled its Hajj flights to and back from crisis-struck Mali, directly impacting more than 4,000 people. The cancellations come as the West African nation faces a dire security situation with separatists and rebels targeting its authoritarian junta. Large-scale attacks at multiple junta strongholds last week killed the country's defense minister, and jihadists have since begun blocking certain entry points into the capital Bamako. The cancellation of the flights was due to cost difference related to the release in kerosene prices as well as security situation in Mali. The cancellations affect nearly a third of total quota of over 13,000 pilgrims allotted to Mali for the 2026 Hajj. National Jury on Election has called for a comprehensive IT audit of Peru's April 12 general election to boost transparency and trust. With 97.5% of ballots counted, results remain unclear and no firm challenger has emerged to face Keiko Fujimori in the June runoff. Roberto Sanchez and Rafael Lopez Aliaga are locked in a tight race for second place, separated by a narrow margin as disputed ballots are reviewed. Authorities say the audit will not delay the process. Despite fraud claims, observers found no irregularities and the final results are expected by mid-May. Leftist Roberto Sanchez and conservative Rafael Lopez Aliaga remain locked in the tight race for second place. Officials say the audit won't delay ballot reviews. Final results are expected by mid-May. Taiwan's naval squadron reached Guatemala as part of a training and diplomatic mission across key global routes. On Saturday, Taiwan's Friendship Naval Squadron arrived at Puerto Quetzal in Guatemala with 3 warships docking after a long voyage spanning the Pacific Ocean, Panama Canal and Caribbean Sea. Rear Admiral of the Taiwanese Navy said over 783 crew members traveled more than 20,000 nautical miles, while the ship hosted exhibitions of drones, weapons and bilateral ties with Guatemalan forces, also touring the vessel during the visit. Major airlines and US government scrambled to help stranded passengers and employees after bankrupt discount carrier Spirit Airlines ceased operations on Saturday, the industry's first casualty linked to the Iran war. The ultra-low-cost US carrier Spirit Airlines, known for its budget-friendly fares, on Saturday announced that it is ceasing operations effective immediately due to mounting financial difficulties and rising fuel prices amid the conflict in West Asia. In Canada, thousands of visitors flocked to High Park in Toronto as cherry blossoms reached peak bloom, creating a canopy of pink and white. Families and couples gathered beneath the trees, capturing moments in seasonal tradition that offers a peaceful escape from daily life. In Nigeria, thousands gathered in Ibadan for grand finale of the World Egungun Festival, celebrating Yoruba heritage through vibrant masquerades, fire stunts and traditional dances with around 18,000 attendees and participants from multiple countries. The festival continues to grow as a major international cultural event rooted in ancestral traditions. In France, a new play titled The Astrologer or False Omens has premiered at the Palace of Versailles. Created with the help of artificial intelligence in the style of Molière, the production developed by the Sorbonne University and artist collective Obvious blends classical theatre with modern technology. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. DMRC celebrates its foundation day. Delhi Metro transforms the capital's commute. India clinches their second ever Thomas Cup medal with a bronze finish.
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures, and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative. From current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development and the ever-evolving world order, DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India, India's voice to the world.
On May 4, India decides, and DD India brings you the most trustworthy, authentic election coverage as results flow in from Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. Stay with us for live updates from counting centres with reporters on the ground and experts in the studio tracking every round, every shift, every key race, as it happens. No noise, no speculation, just the verified, credible results from the national broadcaster you rely on. Election results live on May 4 from 7 a.m. onwards only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Akshay Dongre. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in Jamaica on the first leg of his three-nation visit that also includes Suriname and Trinidad and Tobago, which will continue till the 10th of this month. Upon his arrival, he was welcomed by Jamaica's Foreign Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith. The two-day visit to Jamaica aims to strengthen bilateral relations through engagements with Jamaican leadership, the business community and the Indian diaspora, highlighting the robust partnership between the two nations. According to a statement by the Ministry of External Affairs, the visit underscores India's close historic and cultural ties with the three countries, particularly due to the presence of Girmitia communities. Counting of votes for the just concluded assembly polls in the four states of Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala along with the Union Territory of Puducherry will take place on 4th of this month. Election Commission has more or less completed all preparations to ensure that no untoward incident is reported from the venue of counting centres as trends and results pour in from the EVMs. Security has been tightened to ensure law and order is also not hampered. The Election Commission has ordered repolling in all 285 polling stations, including auxiliary polling stations in Falta Assembly constituency of West Bengal. The Commission mentioned that there have been severe electoral offences and subversion of democratic process during the polling in a large number of polling stations in the Falta Assembly constituency on Wednesday. A fresh poll will be held in all polling stations on 21st of this month from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Counting of votes will also take place on 24th of May. Delhi's lifeline, the Delhi Metro, is marking another milestone as the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation celebrates its Foundation Day, a project that redefined urban mobility in India and set a global benchmark in efficiency, affordability and sustainability of travel. It began in 1998 with the mission to decongest the capital. By 2002, the first Delhi Metro corridor, Shahadra to Tis Hazari, was up and running. Built in phases, the network expanded rapidly, with each phase delivered with rare speed and precision, setting new benchmarks in urban infrastructure. Today, the Delhi Metro is India's largest metro network, stretching across Delhi and NCR. Over 4,500 train trips daily, millions of commuters, with average daily ridership crossing 4.5 million and peak days touching nearly 7.8 million journeys. Fast, affordable and reliable, the metro has made travel predictable in a city once defined by traffic jams. Beyond convenience, the impact is measurable. Reduced congestion, lower travel time and cleaner air. In fact, Delhi Metro became the world's first railway project to earn carbon credits, cutting hundreds of thousands of tons of emission every year, a model now replicated across Indian cities. And the journey continues. With Phase 4 expansion underway, new corridors are bringing the network closer to more people. Driverless trains, smarter systems and stronger last-mile connectivity are shaping the next phase of growth. From bold idea to the backbone of daily commute, Delhi Metro isn't just transport, it's a transformation. In New Delhi, Akshay Dongre, DD India. Government of India has notified 100% foreign direct investment in insurance companies under the automatic route, allowing greater participation from foreign investors in the sector. The move, announced via press note by the Department of Promotion and Industry and Internal Trade, permits such investment including portfolio inflows subject to regulatory approval and oversight by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. However, the Life Insurance Corporation of India will continue under a separate framework with foreign investment capped at 20% under the automatic route. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved the appointment of Dr. R. Balasubramaniam and Dr. Joram Ania as full-time members of Niti Aayog effectively from 2nd May 2026. Dr. Balasubramaniam is a grassroots development expert with over 4 decades of experience working with rural and tribal communities and is the founder of Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement. Dr. Ania's inclusion in Niti Aayog marks a historic movement bringing an eminent intellectual voice from Arunachal Pradesh to highest level of national policy making. An accomplished academician, associate professor and member of Arunachal Pradesh Private Educational Regulatory Commission, she has over 18 years of experience in teaching, research and public policy engagement. Notably, she is the first woman from the Nishi community to earn a PhD and the first in Hindi language in the state. Renowned lyricist and communications expert Prasoon Joshi has been appointed chairman of India's public service broadcaster Prasar Bharati. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting said his vast experience across literature, advertising and cinema is expected to bring a fresh creative perspective to the organization. Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Ashwini Vaishnav welcomed the appointment, expressing confidence that Prasoon Joshi's leadership would infuse renewed energy and purpose into public broadcasting. With prior roles including heading the CBFC, Joshi is expected to guide Prasar Bharati through a phase of digital transformation and evolving audience demands. Two pharmaceutical companies, Danko Laboratories and Gen Biopro, have asked the US Supreme Court on Saturday to restore mail order access to mifepristone, a day after the lower court halted mail delivery of the medication. The ruling follows ongoing legal challenges to the drug, first approved in 2000, and comes after the Roe versus Wade overturning reshaped abortion rights. The medication, widely used with misoprostol, accounts for most abortions. Regulators previously eased access, but recent lawsuit and state-led challenges have intensified disputes, creating uncertainty for patients and providers while debates over safety, regulation and access continues nationwide. The Indian men's team secured a bronze medal at the 2026 Thomas Cup, clinching their second ever medal in tournament following their historic 2022 triumph. India's spirited Thomas Cup campaign ended with a 3-0 semi-final loss to a sensational French side who advanced their maiden final. Christophe Popov, Alex Lanier and Toma Popov won straight game singles match against Ayush Shetty, Kidambi Shrikant and HS Pranoy, overcoming an Indian team missing top shuttler Lakshya Sen due to injury. Despite the loss, this marks a remarkable achievement for the Indian team, reaching the podium again following their 2022 triumph. Meanwhile, for French, who are on a generational run, will clash with defending champion China in the final. Sunrisers Hyderabad will look to continue their winning streak and climb up the ladder when they host a resurgent Kolkata Knight Riders in the IPL today. Sunrisers Hyderabad are riding a 5-match winning streak, sitting third in the IPL standings with 12 points. In contrast, KKR have struggled throughout the season and despite winning last 2 matches, they currently occupy 8th place. The Sunrisers Hyderabad success is built on a formidable batting lineup featuring Abhishek Sharma and Hydrik Klaasen, the tournament's second and third highest run scorers. To counter this firepower, KKR's bowling attack led by mystery spinners Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narine must step up and contain firepower of the SRH batters. In the second match of the day, league leaders Punjab Kings will take on the Gujarat Titans after their perfect run was finally halted. Punjab Kings aim to prevent a minor slip from becoming a collapse. The Kings, who suffered a narrow first defeat of the season against Rajasthan Royals, still lead the table with 13 points. GT meanwhile come into the match on a 2-game winning streak through their campaign that has largely been stopped since stop-start. They have struggled to string together consistent performances, but with recent wins, first over CSK and then RCB. They are 5th on the table. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Akshay Dongre, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.